The Barley Room, a proud sponsor of Proview Networks for over 9 years, is pleased to introduce Black Iron Catering. From weddings and family reunions to birthdays and office parties, Black Iron Catering is perfect for any event. Contact Jamie at 505-459-8259 and book your event today. Black Iron Catering. Let us bring our kitchen to you.
Visit the Frontier Restaurant. Due to heavy construction on Central, take lead or coal coming north or south. The Frontier Restaurant. Get your Frontier fix on.
I am never getting married. Never. Guaranteed.
You picked a beautiful ring.
Thank you. We're never having kids.
I love it here.
We are never moving to the suburbs. We are never getting one of those. We're never having another kid.
I'm pregnant.
I'm never letting go.
For all the nevers in life, talk to State Farm agent Michelle Rudolph or Marty Size in Albuquerque.
For 55 years, people have bought trucks from Tillery in Los Lunas. We have a great selection of vehicles, the quality service department, and some of the best deals in the state. But most importantly, we found people prefer to buy trucks from people who actually drive trucks.
Tillery is a proud supporter of Proview Sports Network. Locally owned and operated, located in Los Lunas, right off I-25, exit 203.
Welcome to Red Menace TV here on Proview Networks. I'm Michael Carlisle along with Micah Frankel from CageMinds.com. Leroy Lucero is on assignment. And you know what they say, when the cat's away, the mice will play. Lots to get to today. We will be a boxing and MMA heavy show today. Of course, we will talk UNM. Story that came out on Tuesday night, Jeff Grammer of the Albuquerque Journal, about the athletic department owing over $263,000 to the UNM Health Sciences Center. Apparently, the athletic department never got billed for treatment for student athletes. So it's nice to see, I guess, Micah, that billing problems isn't unique to the athletic department at UNM.
More woes for UNM. They say any publicity is good publicity, and they are really trying to push that as hard as they can. We're renowned for our medical department. I think that accounting department overall needs to step up, I guess.
The irony, we're also renowned for the business school, the Anderson School of Business. Apparently, UNM doesn't hire any of those people. It's crazy.
Teaching business, but not handling it.
Well, yeah, do as I say, not as I do. Right?
Best intentions.
So I'm sure we'll talk about that. A little bit later on, we'll be joined by Shariah Moreau, arguably the best women's amateur boxer in the country. Is that fair to say?
I'd say so. #1 ranked in the nation in 2 different weight classes, 156 and 165 pounds, a 9-time national champion, a member of the USA Youth Boxing Team, an Olympic hopeful coming up, I believe a bright star in the making.
Yep. We'll also have Rusty the Sports Clown. I'm told that's a management mandated segment, so even though Leroy's not here, we still have to do it.
He still gets a spin-off and a segment.
Pretty soon, Rusty may be running the channel. You're going to have him calling high school football and basketball games. He's on this show. He's got his own show. It'll be the Rusty the Clown Hour, followed by Rusty After Hours.
So are we changing the channel to Pro Rusty or Rusty View?
I think I like Pro Rusty. That's funny. We also have, we'll look back at Fight Night last week from Scotland. We'll look ahead to Fight Night this week in New York, and whenever UFC goes to New York, strange things happen. So lots to get to on a busy show today. We'll be right back after this.
He got away with one nonetheless. He definitely created some contact.
Here we go, 2-1, game on. Sam Guido's gonna finish it.
Show the replay and show you how it happened in just a moment. Here's Luke Lawrence. Very nice PK.
So it's going to be Jack Clancy is going to take this. Tommy Ciano's there too, but I don't think this is going to be a left-footed take. Clancy, yes! Jack Clancy.
Hey, I said it earlier in the broadcast, Adam. He loves to...
This is dangerous as Galito will leave it off. Pacheco, does he want to have one? A cutback. Pacheco's in trouble now as he tries to switch it. Here's a 1-2, and again it's Galito. Galito's going to try to bend one. Yes! How about it from Sam Galito? It's gorgeous on the inside of the foot, and he... Don't forget, every Proview Network sporting event is on sale at our DVD store. Go to www.proviewnetworks.com to buy your DVD today.
Hoops New Mexico Basketball Courts is coming to Albuquerque soon. 10 full basketball courts and a whole lot more. For more information, contact Dan Serrano at hoopsnm@aybl.com.
Sure, you could get him a new car. You could also light a pile of money on fire. So maintaining this old car is your best option. Keep it running longer, stronger, with quality parts and a whole lot of Napa know-how.
Folks, there's no other way but to be all in. Either he's Lord of all or he is not Lord at all. And you can experience the real and authentic, true life change that only God can provide to humanity. See, when we truly encounter Jesus and purpose to know him and follow his teachings, hashtag life change will occur.
Gecko's Bar and Tapas, a proud supporter of Proview Networks. It's been a fan favorite spot for food lovers and sports fans. With not one, but two great locations, including outdoor patio, an atmosphere you won't want to miss. Gecko's off Academy and in Nob Hill. Terry Cosper Insurance Agency is a proud partner with Proview Networks and a proud supporter of New Mexico high school athletics. Terry's been a local farmer's agent for over 20 years for auto, home, life, and business insurance. Just like high school sports are important, so are teen drivers. For more information, call Terry or one of his licensed staff members at 898-5556. Quotes are available for you. Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of Proview Sports Network. Car Crafters, proud supporter of Proview Sports Network.
Are you sure we're supposed to be doing this?
Don't worry, I've watched him do it 1,000 times. Come on, what's the worst that can happen?
No! Bad dog!
Hi, welcome to Car Crafters. What happened?
Don't worry, we'll make it like it never happened.
Car Crafters, it's like it never happened.
Welcome back to Red Menace TV here on Proview Networks. This segment of the show is sponsored by Rusty the Sports Clown. He's everywhere. Everywhere.
Rusty.
All right, Mike, UFC Fight Night. There's one last weekend, one this weekend. Let's start with last weekend in Scotland. A fun card to me, and it was neat because with the time difference, it was on in the middle of the day here.
It's always fun when you get to watch fights during the day, an early day, and then you still get to have an evening. The highlight of the prelim portion of the event for me was Galmor Bofondo making his octagon debut. He just, in a clinch position, throws Charlie Ward off of him, adds a trip into it, and Ward crashes to the canvas, knocking himself out. A knockout by slam, you don't see that. That's a unicorn in MMA. It does happen, but it's pretty rare. So that was the highlight of the prelims. Yeah. You went up to the main card and you had Khalil Roundtree, like malice intent, just disgust for Paul Craig, a vicious knockout.
You know, having met Paul Craig, I can see why people would have malice towards him. He's an interesting character.
Not a likable guy?
Hey, well, he's no Rusty, but he does like to paint his face up, so.
Not everybody can be Rusty. I mean, he only goes one color, though, Paul Craig. It's only two. Maybe he needs to liven it up. You also had Cynthia Calvillo. The hype is real. 3-0 now in the octagon. Some would call it a controversial decision win. I didn't see much controversy in it. She won the end of the rounds. The striking was close enough that she was not getting blown out on the feet like the Muay Thai stylist should have been able to do. The grappler got the fight to the ground the first and the third round. I thought easily secured the decision victory. Interesting to hear that they got into a verbal altercation backstage. Wish Calderwood could use some more of that energy in a positive manner during the fight to prove her point instead of trying to insinuate something backstage. And then the main event, Santiago Ponzinibbio, the underdog, pulls off the upset. He got caught coming in early, too aggressive, ate a flurry, was then able to catch Gunnar Nelson with a giant right hand coming in. A flurry of shots that totally missed before landing a jab that dropped Nelson and 2 more big punches on the ground. There's been some controversy about that one with an eye poke, but I rewatched it 5 times. There's a clear picture going around online that shows the eye poke, but when it actually happened in the fight in real time, it's impossible to see it. I thought it was a good stoppage, a big win for Ponzinibbio.
Going back real quick to Cynthia Calvillo, what's next for her? She came in as the 8th ranked fighter in that division. Where does she go from here?
Well, they don't want to rush her too much because we saw what detriment has happened to Paige Van Zandt taking some giant leaps too quickly in her career. Now, Felice Herring has called out that she'd like a big fight that brings attention to herself. Calvillo's also looking at contenders right around her like Michelle Watterson and Tisha Torres. We've talked about this previously. There's that little foursome right there. It's going to be interesting to see as they're all coming off of wins who gets matched up with what, but That's the way to go, kind of. And I think Calvillo needs to get the least experience, which is probably going to be Torres, out of that group so that she can keep maturing, because Watterson, Herrig, I think they're their amount of fights, they both have another belts, about 15 each, that veteran status, they should fight each other.
Should be interesting. All right, so that was last week, the fight night in Scotland. This week, UFC on Long Island in New York. Strange things happen for a variety of reasons when UFC goes to New York. The main event, Chris Weidman and Kelvin Gastelum.
I can guarantee you at the weigh-ins there will be 7 eyes on the towel and at least 1 on the scale after what Daniel Cormier did last time. Chris Weidman back against the wall, fighting 12 minutes away from his house. He basically walked to the arena. The former champion, the losing streak has been detrimental. Yeah. He hasn't looked horrible, but he hasn't been able to pick up any win. Kelvin Gastelum has looked really good since being forced to move up to 185 pounds. He can make weight now, and he has the energy to fight. He's looked really good, but Tim Kennedy and Vitor Belfort a little long in the tooth, so that just kind of gave an exclamation point to the speed advantage that Gastelum has in the striking. How will he do against a guy that's much closer to his age and his athletic ability? We'll see this Saturday in a big main event.
Yep, and that'll be on regular Fox, correct?
Regular Fox for the prelims and the main card with, I believe, a couple fights still for your Fight Pass prelims. The main card, you also have a co-main event that Dennis Bermudez, Darren Elkins. Right. You got more challengers trying to make their way up at 145 pounds. Dennis Bermudez wants everybody to remember, I'm the last guy to beat Max Holloway, so that should put me up there for another title shot.
Yep. Should be a good one coming up this weekend. All right, when we come back, we'll talk a little boxing. Shoria Maru, from right here in Albuquerque, arguably the best female amateur boxer in the country right now. We will talk to her next, and God willing, we'll have her knock out Rusty. Stay tuned.
Altitude Sports Grill is where Albuquerque's sports fans won't miss a game. With locally crafted brews on tap and refreshingly crisp cocktails. Located in Hotel Cascada, Albuquerque residents find a staycation worth staying for. Catching Lobo sports, enjoying a beer on the beach, or wiping out, Hotel Cascada is home to your urban adventure. Affordable guest rooms, no-hassle water park parties, and much more.
Garden Sort's Team Sales is a proud supporter of Proview Sports Network.
Get into the game. Garden Schwartz Team Sales features fine products and apparel from Wilson, Schutt Sports, Speedline, and Russell Athletics. We offer custom embroidery and screen printing services for all of your school or club needs, from team uniforms to school letter jackets. Specializing in all sports and serving all communities, from big schools to small schools, from up north to down south, or all points in between. Garden Schwartz Team Sales. For great prices, friendly staff, and quality products, call Garden Schwartz Team Sales today at 1-800-880-7767. That's 1-800-880-7767. Since 1939, Garden Schwartz Team Sales is a proud supporter of New Mexico youth athletics.
Hey Lobo fans, I'm Sarah. And I'm Samantha. Jaguar Land Rover Albuquerque has been a family-owned business since 1988. The 2017 Jaguar F-Pace has been named the winner of the 2017 World Car of the Year and World Car Design of the Year. Land Rover's signature terrain response system is flawless against any curveball New Mexico weather can throw at you. We have a class-leading extended warranty on all Jags and Land Rovers and one of the greatest pre-owned inventories in the state of New Mexico. Call 505-797-3600 to schedule a test drive.
The Barley Room, proud sponsor of Proview Networks for over 9 years, is pleased to introduce Black Iron Catering. From weddings and family reunions to birthdays and office parties, Black Iron Catering is perfect for any event. Contact Jamie at 505-459-8259 and book your event today. Black Iron Catering. Let us bring our kitchen to you.
Visit the Frontier Restaurant. Due to heavy construction on Central, take lead or coal coming north or south. The Frontier Restaurant. Get your Frontier fix on.
I am never getting married. Never. Guaranteed.
You picked a beautiful ring.
Thank you. We're never having kids.
I love it here.
We are never moving to the suburbs. We are never getting one of those. We're never having another kid.
I'm pregnant.
I'm never letting go.
For all the nevers in life, talk to State Farm agent Michelle Rudolph or Marty Size in Albuquerque.
For 55 years, people have bought trucks from Tillery in Los Lunas. We have a great
Don't forget, every Proview Network sporting event is on sale at our DVD store. Go to www.ProviewNetworks.com to buy your DVD today.
Hoops New Mexico Basketball Courts is coming to Albuquerque soon. 10 full basketball courts and a whole lot more. For more information, contact Dan Serrano at hoopsnm@aybl.com.
Sure, you could get him a new car. You could also light a pile of money on fire. So maintaining this old car is your best option. Keep it running longer, stronger, with quality parts and a whole lot of Napa know-how.
Folks, there's no other way but to be all in. Either he's Lord of all or he is not Lord at all. And you can experience the real and authentic, true life change that only God can provide to humanity. See, when we truly encounter Jesus and purpose to know him and follow his teachings, hashtag life change will occur.
Gecko's Bar and Tapas, a proud supporter of Proview Networks. It's been a fan favorite spot for food lovers and sports fans. With not one, but two great locations, including outdoor patio, an atmosphere you won't want to miss. Gecko's off Academy and in Nob Hill.
And we're back, and it's time to be joined by our guest this week. We have Shariah Maru, one of the most talented amateur boxers in the country, joining us. Thanks for being here.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Now, I know in June you just won another national tournament. Tell us about it. Tell us about what happened.
Just recently I won National Junior Olympics, and now I'm a two-time Junior Olympic gold medalist, and that's very rare to even win one. So now I'm first one in New Mexico to do that.
Well, how long have you been doing this?
I started around, my first boxing match was when I was 13, and then I started like when I was 12 going on 13. So about 5.5 years.
Wow, and what got you into boxing?
My father, because he used to train and everything. I used to be in the gym all the time, growing up with my family, and then I just ended up like getting into it because especially when I was younger, I used to get in trouble a lot, and then eventually my dad was like, "You're gonna get in the gym, release this anger you have," and then it ended up turning into something positive.
Gotcha.
How many fights do you have under your belt at this point right now?
Right now, for me, I have 50 fights.
Wow.
How crazy is that for you to think that you've already had 50 amateur bouts?
It's very crazy because I never really thought I'll be here where I'm at, and I just did maybe like 10, 12 fights, but then now once I start winning these national championships, I don't want to stop. I want to keep going until like the 2020s is my dream.
And you're what, 17, 18?
I just turned 18 in May.
18 and already had 50 fights under your belt.
Yeah.
Wow. So you're pretty much fighting as often as you can.
Anytime there's a fight available, I'm taking it. No matter who it is, what way, I'm going for it.
And not just including this last tournament, but you've gotten this experience of seeing the whole country and getting all these different looks and doing all this traveling. Do you feel almost like a professional because your schedule's been so busy?
Pretty much. I just turned 18, so I could go pro, but I really want to do the 2020, Olympic dream, the goal and everything, especially I'm just right there on the U.S. team. But once that happens, if I don't make it, then I'll go pro.
Is it something you're chomping at the bit, waiting for this to happen? You're thinking it's 2 years of preparation still away?
Yeah, it's going to go by fast. But right now, I'm right there, so I have a chance.
Now, giving your spot on the youth team, does that give you an advantage in preparation, you feel?
Oh, it gives me a big advantage because especially in November, I have a big world tournament. I'm going to India to compete for a world tournament. That's to be ranked #1 in the world. So if I win that one, hands-on, I'm ready for 2020.
So hang on a second, Micah. Going to India for a big tournament, ranked #1 in the world, looking at the 2020 Olympics. I don't know about you, Micah, but that makes me feel like I failed greatly in life.
We have underachieved severely compared to the activity level you're on, all right? Yeah, that's for sure. Could you envision this? When did the Olympics become a dream that you thought it's achievable?
Well, of course, once the 2012, when the girls were able to be in the Olympics and seeing the boxing and everything, because that's when I started, you know, and seeing that, like, wow, women can do this too, and then seeing Clarissa Shields win it 2 times, and America right now is dominated for the women, where we're dominating it, so I was like, this is a goal, and it could set my future up really good, just to be saying I made that Olympic team, and then have a better career at boxing.
Now, how do you think that'll help you as a pro, having that label, having done that stuff? You think that gives you such a huge advantage?
Honestly, of course, because like how many women are able to have as many fights as national championships and be at that level. So I'm like, it's already harder for women because we're in a male-dominant sport, you know, so we had to work twice as hard. Because there's like kids my age who are getting like bigger contracts, and I won more national championships. So like this 2020 is gonna really, I'm gonna have to like get that team so I can make my future more better.
Now, obviously, you had the benefit of having your dad help train you, but how difficult was that for you as a female as compared to, you know, when you see boys your age, young men your age, and the opportunities they get?
It frustrates me. It frustrates me so bad because we do the same thing. We train, we go to the same tournaments, compete, and then it's always like the males. We could win the same tournament, and then once we're at 18, where you get that contract, they'll rather go with the male because you know it's a male sport or whatever. So it frustrates me.
You've also had the experience of being in 2 different weight classes. I misspoke earlier saying you were number 1 in the nation in 2 different. It's 1 and 2. Yeah. So you fight at 152 and 165. Yeah. How big of a difference does that feel for you?
To me, it's not that bad because I walk around like 158. It's just that before there was 3 Olympic weight classes, which was 112, 132, and 165, which is like a big gap, and I couldn't make like 132. And so now they're adding 125 and 152, so now I'm going back and forth to see which one's better right now. You know, until once the trials, official trials in like 2019 start, then we'll decide which one we're going to go to.
Obviously, you've got plenty of time to decide which weight class works best for you, but do you kind of have a feel which one you like yet, or? 165, I don't have to really make weight. You know, I could, and I'm already ranked number 1, and I'm doing very good. And then I'm pretty sure I could get ranked number 1 in 152. It's just I didn't, one of the tournaments, we were in a different tournament, so I didn't get to get that ranking number spot. Either one's comfortable. Just I'm my father. He's like the coach and everything. Just whatever he says, I go with it.
Boxing is a male-dominated sport. Do you feel that you pattern yourself more after male boxers, or are there some female boxers that you try to incorporate their style into yours?
The only female I'll say, she's from Florida, Melissa Hurricane. Like, I like her style. She's comfortable. She's in Puerto Rican. She fights with rhythm. And I usually go with her and more the males because I like their style.
Well, who are the males that then you adopt their style, not just like watching them?
Well, you don't fight no more, like Tito Trinidad, because especially my dad and everybody say, like, you're tall, you're lengthy like him, you have the same style, especially if you let your hands go. When I let my hands go, it's like a whole totally different thing. So that's why I really like, you know, he's an aggressive forward fighter and keeps going. And we've continually been talking about your father. Tell us how that dynamic works, coach and dad. Oh, you know, we get our disagreements here and there because, of course, he's my father and he wants to look out for me. But it's nice because he knows me better than anybody else. He knows when to push my limits, when to stop. He just knows me better than just like a random person. Now, being in such a male-dominated sport also, does it make finding sparring partners hard? Very, because like, I'm a female, but sometimes I can't spar with other females because I'm above average in there, so I actually usually work with them, and then I actually go with the males, and the males come in there thinking, oh, you know, she's all right, and then I go in there and like, whoa, she could actually pop, you know. So then we end up like going to war or something. And yeah, my dad gets mad. He's like, what? She's a female. Chill out. How many bloody noses have you caused in the gym with these guys trying to just get that respect factor then? A lot. You have to like respect right away, and then they kind of get mad, but it's like, oh well. And then when I first met you guys, actually many years ago, you guys were training out of the Johnny Tapia gym, a lot of pros. What was that experience like, having those professional boxers, Joaquin Zamora, Hector Munoz, Josh Pitbull Torres, were all there when you were starting out? Oh, it was great because I learned so much, and then because my first coach was Johnny Tapia until he died, so I learned a lot and everything. He did not like females to box at all. I used to go in there, he saw no, you need to go start and go to basketball. That was my love and everything. And I had to keep proving him and training hard. And he's like, fine, I'm gonna train you. And then we started training. And then being around the pros and everything, you learn like a whole different lifestyle, like how, you know, your diets and everything going. Because if you're gonna be in this boxing, you have to do 24/7. You have to be in it like 100%, no half off. So I learned a lot being in the gym with them.
Now, along those lines, how much of that was he really didn't want to train females, as opposed to he just wanted to make sure you had the commitment and that you were going to follow through with it?
Yeah, he was very big on that. Like, if you're in the gym, there's no slacking off. You have to be in this because this is a dangerous game. You step in the ring, you put your life on the line either way. So that's why he was really big on that with me.
Has the love for the sport changed as you progressed with your training, as you've gotten more into it?
Oh, definitely, because at first I used to hate it, honestly. I was like, I don't want to go to training, I don't want to run, I don't want to do this. I was like, first when I remember Victoria Cisneros, she tried to have me box, and she's like, oh, you should do this. I was like, boxing? I don't want to do this. I'd rather just box and I'd just rather like do basketball and chill. I don't want to box. And I used to hate it so much. And then once I started doing these tournaments and everything, I found a new love and everything, like a whole new family with this.
And as a high school athlete, I know you were doing track and field, you were also doing basketball. Have you cut those other things out yet to focus on boxing, or are you still mixing up your variety?
I was still doing my cross country because like it's like an extra cardio class I get to do, you know? But the other ones I had to cut down because it was just too much trying to like go from that certain time and then right after go to the boxing because I'll get too tired and everything. And then it's just hard trying to put 100% to each sport.
Okay, so you start training, you start doing the boxing. How long into it before you realized, hey, I'm really good at this, I could be even better?
My father, I have to say, I used to always be like, oh, I'm all right, you know, I'm all right. And then once I started fighting, I look at because I judge myself so much, and like just like anybody else, and I look at my videos and everything, I'm like, wow, I'm actually pretty good, I'm not that bad. And I looked at it, and so that's pretty much it.
Now, I know you've also sparred with some pros on the female side. How memorable have those moments been? They're very good, especially I was younger. I always sparred when I was young, like 14. Everyone always thinks like, because I'm always like the petite, like skinny one, and they're like, oh, she's not gonna do well, or like they want to work with me, and then they feel like I actually have some power. People like be surprised, and then it doesn't become like a working spar match, and it becomes like a real fight, and then I have to stop and everything. It's been a lot of kicking down boundaries and doors for you. Yes. Now, also, I know that your heritage is a big thing to you, being Puerto Rican and being Native American. So tell us about that. It's a basketball world because like my mother's from Mexico, she's Native, and my father is Puerto Rican and specialized like boxing is huge in Puerto Rico. So I really want to live up to that potential that I am Puerto Rican descent and I could be that great boxer as they want me to be. And in the fights that you've had that haven't been under the USA team banner, we've seen you even repping the flag on your shorts. So it means a lot to you, right? Yes, it very does. Did you feel that? You feel like, this feels natural kind of thing? Like, oh yeah, how you said it's kind of in the Puerto Rican blood? Yeah, it very is. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I was like, if I didn't have that, you know, that native warrior blood and then that Puerto Rican blood, I probably wouldn't be as good as I am. You know, I got that hard head, I could take these punches, and I could do this naturally. So pretty much, yeah. Now, what do you do to position yourself or to keep training your hardest to get ready for the Olympics? What do you do to work towards that goal? I like anybody says your family, like especially growing up and being where I'm raised and everything, and like where my friends are at and what they've been doing like at my age and seeing their downfall and where I'm at, it kind of keeps me going because I don't want to be in that path and where I'm at. I just want to have my family grow with me so we can have something to look back and have like a better future with this.
Now, you mentioned the 50 fights, and with the trials for the Olympics in 2019, do you continue the regular fight schedule? Do you pull back a little bit on actual fighting and focus more on the training aspect of it? How do you handle that?
We just keep training pretty much because my thing right now, we just try to go to all the big USA tournaments because those are the ones that count for like the points and where you can be on the team. So I'm gonna keep my training, but just to keep fighting the tournaments. Now, in the ring, where have you felt that you've still been most wanting to advance your skills? I know this is mean, but I want to keep letting my power go, because I'm tired of leaving it to the judges, because sometimes I get so anxious, and I just like, I want to practice on like keep stopping the fights. I know that sounds mean, but like I don't want the fights to go anymore, like longer.
Wasn't there a tournament just here locally a couple months ago? And I'm thinking that the medal round, the finals, that didn't go but one round. I think you landed some big overhands and it was lights out.
Yeah, I pretty much want to keep it like that so I could have a better chance this 2020, so I don't have to have these judges and like have their favorites. So I'd be like, okay, I won it fair.
And family's been a big deal. One of your smaller but more frequent sparring partners is your little brother. What is it like, you two constantly on this road together fighting?
We have like competition where we be like when we get back from a national tournament, well, I won that tournament, you didn't. So we like compete with each other. So which in a good way, because we want to outdo each other. Which is when we go fight, we want to like, it makes us better because we end up like winning these things. But it's really good having my brother because he looks up to me for certain things, and then I know when in 2 more years he's gonna become like my big sparring partner, and it's like, oh gosh.
Are you waiting for him to hit that growth spurt? Because right now it's a opposite styles. You're the big power puncher, and he's this little fast movement combination fighter.
Yes. I work with him and everything, but it's not the same. So my dad's always like, 2 more years, once he grows, that's your sparring partner. I'm like, oh yeah, and I'm like, oh no, because he's gonna be so fast, and then I'm gonna hit him. Oh man, it's gonna be a one.
Now, obviously there's an age difference, but who's the better fighter, you or him?
Oh man, I can see him in the back saying him. But, I'll give him the edge because he has a nice style, you know.
Okay.
I like his style. You know, he's a 6 southpaw, and he fights real good with nice rhythm. But you know, I'm the big power puncher, so I'll have to get him at the end.
So we got the Floyd Mayweather and we got the Mike Tyson. That's what we're going with.
Pretty much.
Boxing has become a big part of your life. Do people ever tell you that you're almost focusing too much on this?
A lot, all the time, because like I really just like go to school, train, sleep, eat, repeat, everything, you know. So, and people always, especially my friends, they're like, oh, so when you're gonna get at the house? Oh, when you're busy. Like when I'm not like training, I just want to sleep, guys. I just want to train, like just sleep and not train that day. Pretty much.
You need that rest sometimes. I think we're going to take a little rest here and take another commercial break.
Garden Sports Team Sales is a proud supporter of Proview Sports Network.
Get into the game. Garden Schwartz Team Sales features fine products and apparel from Wilson, Schutz Sports, Speedline, and Russell Athletics. We offer custom embroidery and screen printing services for all of your school or club needs, from team uniforms to school letter jackets. Specializing in all sports and serving all communities, from big schools to small schools, from up north to down south, or all points in between. Garden Schwartz Team Sales. For great prices, friendly staff, and quality products, call Garden Schwartz Team Sales today at 1-800-880-7767. That's 1-800-880-7767. Since 1939, Garden Schwartz Team Sales is a proud supporter of New Mexico youth athletics.
Hey Lobo fans, I'm Sarah. And I'm Samantha. Jaguar Land Rover Albuquerque has been a family-owned business since 1988. The 2017 Jaguar F-Pace has been named the winner of the 2017 World Car of the Year and World Car Design of the Year.
Land Rover's signature terrain response system is flawless against any curveball New Mexico weather can throw at you.
We have a class-leading extended warranty on all Jags and Land Rovers and one of the greatest pre-owned inventories in the state of New Mexico.
Call 505-797-3600 to schedule a test drive.
The Barley Room, proud sponsor of Proview Networks for over 9 years, is pleased to introduce Black Iron Catering. From weddings and family reunions to birthdays and office parties, Black Iron Catering is perfect for any event. Contact Jamie at 505-459-8259 and book your event today. Black Iron Catering. Let us bring our kitchen to you.
Visit the Frontier Restaurant. Due to heavy construction on Central, take lead or coal coming north or south. The Frontier Restaurant. Get your Frontier fix on.
I am never getting married.
Never.
Guaranteed. Guaranteed.
You picked a beautiful ring.
Thank you. We're never having kids.
I love it here.
We are never moving to the suburbs. We are never getting one of those. We're never having another kid.
I'm pregnant.
I'm never letting go.
For all the nevers in life, talk to State Farm agent Michelle Rudolph or Marty Size in Albuquerque.
For 55 years, people have bought trucks from Tillery in Los Lunas. We have a great selection of vehicles, a quality service department, and some of the best deals in the state. But most importantly, we found people prefer to buy trucks from people who actually drive trucks.
Tillery is a proud supporter of Proview Sports Network. Locally owned and operated, located in Los Lunas, right off I-25, exit 203.
What do you think?
No, not a chance.
She's smart.
Well, you joined us in mid-question. We're going to talk about Mayweather-McGregor next because, well, it's the talk all over the world. It's all over combat sports right now. So we're all pretty much in agreement here. Mayweather should win the fight, right?
Yes.
Yeah, we're all pretty good on that one. It's does he do it by knockout or does he do it by decision? I keep leaning towards decision though because I think McGregor's head's too big to get knocked out, and it's been a long time since in a ring Mayweather's really hurt anybody.
Yeah, I just think McGregor gets tired out as the fight goes on and maybe makes some easy pickings for a knockout. But you're right, that's especially the last several years, that's certainly not something that's in Floyd's repertoire, knocking guys out.
Shariah, what do you think happens?
I think Floyd has the power to do it, but he gives the fans a show what they want. He just plays around, like these people and everything. He's just gonna play around with Conor and then set him up for something. That's all I think, and that's all I'm gonna say.
As a boxer, and you see a guy like Conor McGregor, an MMA fighter, coming over, do you feel like in a way that disrespects boxing, that this guy just thinks he can step in and beat a guy who's 49-0 and arguably one of, if not the greatest fighter of all time?
In a way, like, it kind of is in a way, because he thinks he could just come in here and take over the sport that we've been doing for a while. But it's a fight that fans want to see, because like every time in the gym, you always got those people who are like, oh, who would win in a fight? This MMA person or this boxer? Who would win? So, I don't know, it is in a way, but I'm just excited for this fight.
Is it disrespectful to boxing that Mayweather takes on this challenge when he looks at guys like Terrence Crawford, Keith Thurman, Danny Garcia? You could help me name the guys in the weight class, in his weight class, that are viable contenders, that next guy up, but yet he wants to fight a dude that kicks for a living.
Yeah, and that's where you get to the disrespectful part. Yeah, because there's people who've been fighting all their lives, or like just to get like that check or like that fight, and then he gets Conor. You're just like, what the heck? I've been winning these bouts, getting my name up there in the rankings, and you just want to come back for this fight. Like, what the heck?
Right, you got to feel bad for those guys in boxing. They've been working for this, and they're watching the big payday go to a guy that's never stepped in there. So it's almost more disrespectful, I think, to boxing that Mayweather's like, no, this is the guy that's a challenge for me, which he means this is the guy that's the check for me. And that's what it comes down to. So do you take a lesson for this as an amateur boxing, looking at how the pro fight game works?
It makes me mad, because like he's making his pro debut basically, and people who make the pro debut don't get a Mayweather fight. First of all, they have to work their way, so it makes me low-key angry. Like, what the heck?
I guess though, this gives you a good spot to go into your first contract negotiations and say, hey, I'm not even gonna talk any crazy numbers. $50 million, only half of what Conor got, because look at all of what I've done as the national champion.
Exactly.
Stylistically in this fight, can you see any way that Conor is even landing on Floyd?
Well, he does got a puncher's chance. He might land, because they're fighting. First off, you're gonna land at least a couple punches. You're gonna get hit in boxing, no matter what you say. But he might land something. But I'm just so iffy with this fight, because I want Mayweather to win. He's supposed to win. This is boxing, so he better win first off. But at the same time, Conor has like a real puncher's chance.
I'm more awaited to see what Conor looks like in that ring, because you got to imagine he's not coming out like a boxer. You cannot be traditional and technical against the best technician of this generation. I mean, Floyd has seen Canelo's punches coming. Everybody's. He's made them all look bad defensively. How does he not see Conor's? Conor loads up, and in MMA, when you're worried about the teep kick, when you're worried about everything else is already thrown at you, it opens up that big left hand. I don't know how he opens it up with his jab in this fight.
Yeah, he's gonna just walk into everything. Honestly, he's gonna get countered, and just like you said, the way he loads up and everything.
Well, you know, the flip side of that is how much Conor's, being unorthodox affects Floyd, because he's used to being in there with trained boxers, in the proper stance and all that. And there's a really good chance you don't see that from Conor. Like you said, he's going to be unorthodox. He's probably, his stance ain't going to be exactly right. If that throws Floyd off at all.
I figure that Conor has to try to be ultra aggressive, make it a street fight, get right in Floyd's face, and try to do something that you would see in the MMA cage. But the problem even with that theory is that clinching. Floyd can just hug him. If he gets too close and he tries to pressure him, he can just hug him and the ref's going to break him up and split him apart. It's not like in the octagon where if that clinch happens, all right, I'm just going to knee him, I'm going to elbow, and I'm going to separate. No, this is the ref's going to separate. And we've seen through big 12-round boxing matches with Floyd Mayweather, you could get worn out and the ref could get hoarse from telling him to stop clinching. A point's not coming off the board either way. Yeah. So it's a really interesting fight for all those factors. It's also interesting for Conor doesn't go 12 rounds, but he does go 25 minutes. How does he pace himself in the fight? And how does 28 versus 40 affect this fight? Also thinking, it's been some years since we've seen Floyd in the ring. He hasn't taken any damage, but is it the same sharpness that he's always had?
Oh, this going. You put a good point there. I think he's coming out to back how he used to, like how my father says, the pretty boy Floyd. The meanness, the talking, and everything. He's become more like the villain in this way. But I don't know. This is hard. I think he's gonna come back and just come back to his old self and then show how he used to be. That knockout puncher, how he used to be. He's gonna show that in the ring when it comes to August.
One thing that's not debatable, those press conferences last week, the four of them, that lived up to everything. I don't care if you scored them for Floyd, for Conor. That was the best sports entertainment we've seen on TV. I mean, Bellator and the UFC could learn from what they did. I mean, you're 40 years old, you're carrying a book bag, but you can't read. To, hey, I'm wearing a shirt and jeans because real ballers can, right, Dana? Right. I mean, the trash talk, the war of words, the entertainment, it lived up to everything. Even if one of them gets knocked out in like 5 seconds and the fight flops, I think the people that are really into this got $100 of money worth just with last week.
Yeah, I think I'd agree with that. Does the fight, though, live up to the hype? Because typically Floyd's fights don't, because, look, he's a smart fighter. He's not going to sit there and stand there and trade punches with someone if he doesn't have to. I think that's what a lot of people expect to see in this fight. I don't know how much of that we actually see, though. And
actually, Shariah, way earlier, you had said something I wanted to ask you about that. You said that Floyd strings out some of these fights to make them more entertaining. Monday morning after a Floyd Mayweather fight, entertaining is not what I'm hearing even from the hardest heavy Atlas boxing fans. So do you find what he does entertaining?
Pretty much, because he just plays with them to me. He's just like, he breaks him down. They want to fight this certain fight, like the Madonna fight. He's a weird, awkward style, and he breaks their fight the way they want to beat him. He just plays with them. Like you see these fighters and they'll come out fighting to the game plan, knocking them out, doing what they have to, and he just makes it look like another day, like an easy sparring match.
More of a chance that McGregor knocks out Mayweather, or Mayweather and McGregor take this rivalry into the octagon? Which would you bet on? And I'm putting you in an awkward spot, I know, with that one.
Oh, God. Mayweather's going to win this, that's all I'm saying. But if it was an octagon, I'd just say Conor, because it's his sport. He dominates it,
Definitely interesting, and it's an interesting war where it's to have boxing versus MMA, but we kind of saw that, what was it, with Aoki and Ali a long time ago. a boxer's gonna get leg kicked by an MMA fighter if you were just to let them go 4-ounce gloves versus, you know, big heavy gloves. And I've seen it at Buffalo Thunder thanks to Holmes Boxing enough and short notice replacements. MMA fighters are tough, they are crazy, but boxing, it's just a different style, a different technique, and a different kinetic energy with the way that they place their feet in the ground and the power that is translated into the punches.
Very right.
Yeah.
Got a point.
So, maybe we'll get the answer to MMA versus boxing, but right now, Floyd Mayweather versus Conor McGregor is entertainment. Can we get off of it's boxing? It's entertainment.
Yeah. Oh no, it's both. There's nothing wrong with the entertainment aspect of it, I think, and you know, honestly, outside of Floyd, that maybe that's something boxing needs more of right now. You know, you look at MMA and UFC, you know, Conor, there's a lot of guys who trash talk and just go around and talk and talk and talk, and really that's what got a guy like Conor on the map. Before people realized he was a good fighter, people found out he was a good talker.
Right, and is boxing lacking right now? I think Thurman, Garcia, there's Joshua, there's Wilder. Is it lacking though right now? Could there be more star power, and what should these guys do?
I don't think it's lacking. It's just you got Floyd Mayweather, the biggest one. When people say boxing, they just want to say Floyd Mayweather. And then you got, you know, the MMA, Conor McGregor. That's all they know. And Conor knows how to sell a fight. He knows how to sell a fight. So what they're saying is doing bigger. Like for a press conference, you don't usually have 17,000 people and have 4 different ones in a different country and states. Usually in a press conference, you maybe have like a couple hundred. So they're really doing their job of selling this fight and making, just like you said, entertaining for us. Because what they say, you're just like, you don't even care for it. You just want to see what happens, you know. Especially we can't wait for the weigh-ins. Let's see if they throw a punch or something.
And one more boxing question, because we should talk some boxing. Actually, there's a boxing match coming up too. Who wins, Triple G Canelo?
Oh God. See, I'm not I'm not hyped about Triple G, and I'm not a Canelo fan that much. So like to me, it's like whatever. But
you've watched them stylistically.
Yeah, like,
what do you think makes the difference in there between the two of them?
Canelo, I like his style, but I'm gonna have to go with Triple G because he's
Nobody
a beast.
can hang with that power punching.
He's a beast. He walks him down, tears him apart, and it's over.
I got to go with Triple G. So far, a lot of talked it, but nobody has been able to hang in there with his power punching. I don't know if Canelo can do it.
Yeah, I think you're probably right on that.
Is there any other boxing match? What are we missing here? What's the big boxing match that, or the 2 boxers or 3, whatever, that we should be paying attention to that are not these guys that we've consistently named?
It's coming up with the heavyweight. You know, Deontay Wilder versus Ortiz is coming up. That one's going to be a big one, especially Wilder. He knocks everybody out, and Ortiz is a nice, slick fighter. So that one's a good one to be coming up to watch.
Now, is it just me, or is it awkward kind of watching Wilder? Like, he has so much length, it almost feels bad for him. Like, he tries to get the full extension on his punches, but then it just kind of looks like he's winging everything without technique.
I know, he's so awkward. Like, he's so long and everything, but he just has that knockout punch. He said, it makes it so interesting because he's another one who knows how to sell a fight because the way he talks, and after he's always like, bomb squad, and you know, he's real wild out there, so he makes the fights interesting, especially like you go into fights and you're like, oh, this one's not gonna last because he knocks everybody out.
So you've tried to take a couple of those lessons from Pretty Boy Floyd and from Deontay, learning how to sell yourself for that next level?
Pretty much, yeah. You gotta be more outspoken, especially for your fans. People they're gonna see you fight, but they want to see your personality outside too, because there's a lot of people who fight good and they could be like really, how you say, a-holes outside.
Yeah.
You know, you're like, oh, I don't want to go for them.
Yeah. All right, real quick, back on you, Shariah. You told us a big tournament coming up. When is that again?
In November.
In November. That's in India?
Yeah.
Wow, that's awesome. Well, look, best of luck to you, and best of luck with the Olympic trials coming up in 2019 and all that. Thanks so much for coming by.
Thank you.
Absolutely. We'll be back with more Red Menace TV in just a moment here on Proview Networks.
Hey everybody, welcome to New Mexico. It's me, Rusty the Sports Clown, here live for the Rusty the Sports Clown show, but you're going to see me like later in the week and stuff. Guess what time it is? Look, it's what time it always is here, Rusty the Sports Clown. It's time for a sports break. All right, what are we going to start with? Let's begin with, let's start with the NFL. All right, my friend Renee from work, yeah, she's that Steelers fan that we keep hearing about. She keeps reminding me that, you know, it's been a while since the Cowboys have done anything in the playoffs. Yeah, well, while it would be nice if, they won another Super Bowl, that'd be great. They are still ranked #1 as far as fan support, and believe it or not, they are also ranked the most valuable franchise in the world in all sports. All right, check this out. They are ahead of #2, the New York Yankees, #3, Manchester United, that's a soccer thing, #4, Barcelona, guess what, more soccer, #5 is Real Madrid, more soccer. Okay, then you finally get the next NFL team. Guess who they are? The New England Patriots. Yeah, how about that sound, guy?
Go Pats.
Yeah, they're #6. Okay, moving on. Okay, check this out. This is hard to believe. #7 is the New York Knicks. Who would have thought that? Like the Knicks, really? The Knicks? Like they're horrible. All right, then #8, you have the New York Giants. Yeah, they're not great either. Maybe it's a New York thing. So that's like 3 New York teams in the top 8. Okay, then #9, you have the San Francisco 49ers. Rounding out the top 10, you have the LA Lakers. Very cool. Okay, these rankings cover all of the NFL, all of Major League Baseball, all of the NBA, the NHL, soccer, NASCAR, and Formula One teams. Yeah, I don't recall saying anything about any Pittsburgh anything. Do you sound guy? Did I say anything?
I didn't hear anything about Pittsburgh.
Huh. Yeah, what do you always say? Go somebody or other.
Go Pats.
Yeah, and I say go Cowboys. All right, next up, we're going to talk boxing. How many of you kept up with the Floyd Money Mayweather and the Conor McGregor press conference? I love saying that, McGregor. That's very cool, huh? Okay, if you didn't hear all or some of the press conferences, here are the highlights. Ready? You, and I'm gonna, and this is gonna happen, and I know, that's pretty much how it all went. They had to bleep out like every other word. It was bizarre, but some people thought it was kind of humorous too. So if you have like a lot of money and want to watch, that's what they're promoting. So spend all your money and go, or stay, or whatever you want to do. Moving on, we are going to talk Major League Baseball. Very cool stuff. All right, in the National League West, both Arizona and Colorado are 11 games back of the Dodgers. I know that's a lot, but guess what? Both are leading the wild card race. Who's going to win? I don't know. Arizona, Colorado, probably doesn't matter because I think the LA Lakers, Dodgers, whoever is in LA is going to beat either one or both of them. All right, speaking of LA, which has the best record in baseball, again, rookie Cody Bellinger. This is very cool. He became the first Dodger rookie to hit for the cycle. Now, we're not talking motorcycle, we're not talking bicycle, we are talking the baseball cycle, which is crack, a single, crack, a double, crack, a triple, and crack, a home run. He did all of those in one game in a 7-1 win against the Miami Marlins. Good job, Cody. That's not bad. All right, we're going to move on. We're going to talk, we're going to back up in our history and stuff. We're going to talk Olympics. How many of you guys remember the Ryan Lochte story from the Olympics? Yeah, okay, he had just won a medal in the relays, and he went out partying with some of the other, members of the swim team. When they were robbed at gunpoint by men with police badges. Yeah, he told this story to NBC after he got back to the States. Well, video surveillance, which was captured at a gas station, proved that his story was incorrect. Okay, he and his buddies, they were drunk at the time, and they were actually causing the disturbance, and it was security guards from the gas station that stopped them. Okay, well, the Brazilian authorities, they brought charges of filing a false robbery report. Okay, now, a Brazilian court has now dropped those charges because he didn't actually file a report in Brazil. He told a lie to NBC, which isn't actually the same thing as filing false charges. Okay, and when the truth of the incident came out, it didn't make Brazil look bad. It made Lochte look like an idiot, which I guess isn't really punishable anywhere. Okay, moving on. Ladies, professional golf. How many of you watched the U.S. Women's Open? Yeah, me neither. Okay, well, I saw the leaderboard after it was over with, and I think they should change the name to the Korean Open. And here's why. 6 out of the top 8 were from South Korea. And out of the top 20, 13 were Korean. Holy cow. Maybe our ladies should get lessons over there because, apparently they're teaching their women how to play golf. Yeah, good job, North Koreans, South Koreans, somebody in Korea. Hey, Red Menace peeps. All right, if you want to hear some more UNM stuff, yeah, you're going to have to watch that on Facebook because you're not going to see it here, or watch me live right before the Steve Davis Show. So I welcome you to follow me on Facebook, follow me on Twitter, follow me to a Lobos game because I love Lobo games, and I'm very famous. So if there is a game, an event, a meet, a match, whatever, just go. Bye, guys.
Full show today. I mean, you just got Rusty and that kind of smorgasbord of clowning around. I'm a little speechless from what we just saw. Hopped around so many different topics. I saw Mayweather anti-Steelers. I don't even know. Maybe he took his own take on what's going on at UNM, as we all seem to have our opinion. An opinion about Mayweather and McGregor is that it's entertainment. One more time, we got to thank Shariah Maru for being a great guest, wishing her all the best, and looking towards hopefully having a New Mexican in the Olympics in 2020.
And thank Rusty, of course, for sponsoring the show and all the shows here, as he basically now runs the network. So,
Pro Rusty.
Yeah, here on Pro Rusty Networks. For Mike and Frankel, I'm Michael Carlisle. Thanks for joining us. We will see you next week here on Red Menace TV.